Now I'd like to explain the three-point buck on using 3 targets. If we're using 1 target on a small surface, it's pretty simple. I can just move the target around. But when I start working on large surfaces, sometimes we work on machines that are 50, 60, even 100 feet long. It's just a lot of work to keep moving the target from position to position and work back here to make the adjustment, especially if you're working by yourself. So what we can do is use 3 targets. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up 3 targets. I'm going to put them all on this same point, one at a time. I'll put 1 target here and I'll make it 0. Then I'll take the next target and make that 0 on the same point. So all 3 targets I set at exactly the same height. And then I'm going to place these around here, and then I'm going to adjust the lacer so that all 3 targets read the same number and the same sign. Then I can measure the base from there. So to start with, I like to put my number 1 target up close. So I'm going to start with target number 3, and I'm going to put the target here, and I'm going to adjust this so the laser beam's passing somewhere close to the center of the target as normal. Set that here, and I'm going to make that target read 0. And then I'm going to take that target and I'm going to place it over here on this side. Now I'm going to take target number 2, and just like all the other procedures, we have a footprint. We put the targets in the footprint. We keep the base facing the same direction. We want to do things the same way every time if we want to get repeatability. So now I'm taking target number 2 and I'm going to make that 0. And I'm going to take that target and put it down here on my far point. Now I'm going to take target number 1 and adjust that to 0. Make that 0. Okay, so now I've made all 3 targets exactly the same height. I put them on this point, I zeroed them, and I placed them out throughout there. So now I have 3 targets. Target number 1's reading 0 because I just made it that way and I haven't moved it. But targets number 2 and 3 aren't. So because I have my roll running in this direction, I'm going to use my roll adjustment, and I'm going to make targets number 1 and number 2 read the same number, same sign. Now because target number 1 is up close, I want to watch the numbers on target number 2 as well as 1, but number 2 is going to change a lot more because it's farther away. So I'm going to adjust this until both 1 and 2 read both the same number, same sign. Minus 21.7, 21.8. Now I want to make targets number 1 and 3 read the same. So I'm going to use my pitch adjust and tilt in this direction. So now I use the coarse adjust first, I start getting close, and then I switch to the fine adjustments. And as I do this, target number 2 is going to change a little bit, so we'll have to go back and fine tune a little bit, but now 1 and 3 are reading minus 0.0307. 8. 2, I have to go back and fine tune targets number 1 and 2 now. So I'll go back to my roll adjust. So now I have all 3 targets reading minus 0.303. 0.30, within a 1/10. So now I have the laser bucked into these 3 points within 1/10. So all of my readings are, the maximum error I can have is 1/10. It's going to be less than that any place I place the target. So now I could leave these two targets. I like to leave the farthest targets away. I like to leave those set up and use them as a reference. So I know if this laser beam has moved, if somebody's bumped it, especially when I'm working long distances. I could be 50 feet down there and somebody bumps this and I don't know it unless I have these set up for reference. So I can leave them at this, or I can just make, it's easier to just make all three targets read 0. So I'm going to make all three targets read 0. Now I know I can use target number 1 to take measurements. I know if the other two targets change from 0, then this has moved on me. So I'm going to take this target and I'm going to move it over here in this corner. And I'm going to see there, now target number 1 reads minus 7/10, 8/10. So we know this corner is a little bit low. I'll move it over here to the middle. And you can see that targets 2 and 3 are both staying right at 0. So here I'm at 5/10, minus 5/10. So it's running downhill a little bit. Over here, I'm minus 3/10. So this base is very flat, but this is how you do a 3-point buck-end using 3 targets. Just makes things a lot easier, a lot faster when you're working with large bases or large machinery.